Hello and welcome to the 29th episode of the M-Wire Movie Week in Review. Today we're continuing the DC Spotlight series with Batman Begins, the first new Batman film in 8 years. This will be Volume 1 of the DC Spotlight. I am TFG1 Mike, and as usual I'm joined by Steve Megatron. Hello.
Hello.
This is another one of our double shots of Batman films because on Saturday, February 6th, when this airs, you will hear this one and also our Dark Knight discussion. And we will be right back after you hear the trailer.
You've traveled the world. Now you must journey inwards. What you really fear is inside you. There is no turning back. Your parents' death was not your fault. The training is nothing. The will is everything. If you make yourself more than just a man, if you devote yourself to an ideal, you become something else entirely. Are you ready to begin? Where are you?
Alright, we are back, and we're going to be talking about Batman Begins. This is, as I said before, the first new Batman film in almost 8 years. This came out in 2005, superhero film based on the fictional DC Comics character Batman. Directed by Christopher Nolan, it stars Christian Bale as Batman, along with Michael Caine, Gary Oldman, Liam Neeson, Katie Holmes, Cillian Murphy, Morgan Freeman, Ken Watanabe, Tom Wilkinson, and Rutger Hauer. The film reboots the Batman film series, telling the origin story of the character, and begins with Bruce Wayne's initial fear of the Bats, the death of his parents, and the journey to becoming Batman. It draws inspiration from classic comic book storylines, such as Batman, The Man Who Falls, Batman Year One, and Batman The Long Halloween. Let's see. After a series of unsuccessful projects to resurrect Batman on screen following the 1997 critical failure of Batman and Robin, Nolan and David S. Goyer began working on the film in early 2003 and aimed for a darker, more realistic tone with humanity and realism being the basis of the film. The goal was to get the audience to care for both Batman and Bruce Wayne. The film, which was primarily shot in England and Chicago, relied on traditional stunts and miniatures. Computer-generated imagery was used minimally. A new Batmobile, called the Tumbler, and a more mobile Batsuit were both created specifically for the film. Did you see this in theaters?
No, I didn't actually see it in the theater. I actually think I saw it on DVD as soon as it came out.
Yeah, I did not see this in theaters. I do not remember seeing this one in theaters, I don't think. What are your initial thoughts after dealing with the last episode we dealt with?
This movie I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, it kept some of the darker tones as well as some of the lighter. It was kind of a good mix between the two. But it wasn't too lighthearted like the previous movie, which is why it bombed. Yeah. I would have to say that this would definitely beat all four of the other old movies.
Yes, and then
easily.
And then the next episode beats all of them all together.
Yes.
I guess we can get right into the plot. The film opens with 8-year-old Bruce Wayne playing with his friend Rachel Dawes. Though through the course of their game, Bruce falls into a well where he encounters a swarm of bats and develops a fear of them. The film then cuts to the present, showing an older Bruce languishing in Bhutanese prison. Following the prison brawl, Bruce is approached by Henry Pickard, who invites him to join an elite vigilante group, the League of Shadows, led by Ra's al Ghul. Okay, now this is the other thing. Even though it shows as Ra's al Ghul, it's pronounced Ra's al Ghul. Read the next day, Bruce travels to the League's headquarters on a snowy mountaintop to begin his martial arts training. Cutting back to the beginning of the film, the young Bruce Wayne accompanies his parents to production of... I can't even pronounce that. They went to some movie, or play or something, which features actors dressed as bats. Frightened by these bat-like portrayals, he urges his father to leave the opera. Outside the theater, the man named Joe Chill mugs and kills Bruce's parents. Though Chill is later arrested that same night, Bruce blames himself for his parents' deaths. It's been a while. I didn't actually watch this before we did the recording, because I kind of don't have it. So, what did you think of this whole plot line, back and forth, present, past, and all that?
It was a little confusing at times. Mm-hmm. However, it was kind of cool to actually see what happened, mm-hmm. like how he became who he is now, mm-hmm. instead of just like in the original Batman '89, you only see where his parents get killed as a flashback, mm-hmm. and that's it. You don't actually see anything in between those times. This, you see that Bruce is clearly fed up with all the crime and bullshit of the world, and is looking for, some way of getting vengeance.
Right, exactly. Back in the present, Bruce continues to train with the League of Shadows. Having heard the tragedy of Bruce's parents, Duckard asks Bruce why he never avenged their deaths. Cutting back several years, an adult Bruce returns to Gotham City from Princeton University, intent on killing Chill, whose prison sentence is being suspended in exchange for testifying against crime boss Carmine Falcone. Before he can act, however, one of Falcone's assistants kills Chill. When Bruce tells Rachel about his foiled plan, she is disgusted and tells him that his father would be ashamed of him. Bruce confronts Falcone, who tells him that he is ignorant of the nature of crime. So Bruce decides to travel the world for nearly 7 years to understand the criminal mind. He is eventually detained for theft, ironically, of Wayne Enterprises products. Oh, shit. Wrapping up to the beginning of the film, in the present, Bruce finally completes his training, culminating in overcoming his childhood phobia of bats. Ra's states that he plans to have Bruce lead his men to destroy Gotham, which he claims to have become a breeding ground for criminals and the corrupt, is beyond saving. As a final test, Bruce is asked to execute a criminal. Bruce refuses and instead turns on the League, setting the temple on fire and killing Ra's in the process. Bruce rescues an unconscious Duckard from the wreckage and leaves him at a nearby village. I would have, even though I don't think David Warner could pull off a live-action Ra's al Ghul, because we all know David Warner from, I've mainly seen him on screen in Turtles 2.
Yep.
He was Professor Jordan Perry. But he played the voice magnificently in Batman the Animated Series. I don't like Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul. I don't like the voice. I wish that they would have found a way to get David Warner in as Ra's, which, whatever.
But you've got to admit this, that Liam Neeson does have the kind of look like he could play that character anyhow.
Yeah.
So, I could see why they went with him.
Yeah.
I agree the voice isn't the same, but that's mostly out of fanboyism, liking the animated series voicing.
Yes. Bruce returns to Gotham City ruled by Carmine Falcone and plots his war against the city's corrupt system. He seeks the help of Rachel, now an assistant district attorney, and police sergeant Jim Gordon, who consoled him after his parents' death, and one of the few good cops left in Gotham. After reestablishing his connections to Wayne Enterprises, Bruce acquires, with the help of former board member Lucius Fox, a prototype armored car and an experimental armored suit. Alright, now, I gotta say, this is probably the best version of Lucius ever.
Oh, yeah.
I know the one in BTAS is really, really good, but no one could play Lucius Fox like Morgan Freeman does.
Oh, no, he's I'd have to say he's the most awesome portrayal of the character.
Yeah. In his first night, he disrupts a drug shipment and leaves Falcone tied to a searchlight, forming a makeshift bat signal. He also disrupts an assassination attempt on Rachel, leaving her with evidence against a judge on Falcone's payroll. While investigating the drugs in the shipment, Batman is stunned by Dr. Jonathan Crane, an Arkham Asylum psychiatrist on Falcone's payroll, who sprays him with a powerful hallucinogen. Bruce's butler, Alfred Pennyworth, rescues him using an antitoxin developed by Fox to save him. Michael Caine is Alfred. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I don't think he did totally bad. I think he does kind of fit the role, but at the same time, I like the original Alfred from the 80s and 90s movies.
I like him. First of all, Michael Caine is just an awesome actor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, geez, there's not a bad thing that neither one of us can say about him. Although he was kind of a little bit over the top in Goldmember. But anyway. I think it's a nice way. I think it's a nice updating to Alfred.
It gives him a little bit more of a modern, younger feel to him.
Yeah, and he's more hands-on than Michael Goff was. Don't get me wrong. There are plenty of references in the late 80s, early 90s films where there's a reference in Batman Forever when Bruce is trying to get Dick to stay. He's like, Alfred's a good mechanic, but he just doesn't know how, I mean, there's tons of references to all the stuff that Alfred does for Bruce, but here with Caine portraying him, it's much more hands-on, I think, than when Goff did it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Crane later poisons Rachel after showing her that the toxin, which is lethal in a vapor form, is being piped into the city water supply. Batman saves her and attacks Crane with his own poison. Batman interrogates Crane, who claims to be working for Ra's al Ghul. Before Batman can ask further, the police swarm Arkham to arrest Crane, and Batman escapes with Dawes in the Batmobile. After administering the antidote to her in the Batcave, he gives her 2 vials of it for Gordon, one for inoculating himself and the other for mass production. Later at Wayne Manor, Bruce is confronted at his birthday celebration by a group of League of Shadows ninjas led by Ducard, who reveals himself to be the true Ra's al Ghul. And the man killed earlier was a decoy. Ra's, who had been conspiring with Crane the entire time, plans to destroy Gotham by distributing the toxin via the city's water supply and vaporizing it with a microwave emitter stolen from Wayne Enterprises. Ra's reveals that the League of Shadows have attacked many cities, such as Gotham, for centuries, acting as a check against human corruption. Ra's also reveals that they have even attacked Gotham before, creating an artificial depression to financially cripple the city. However, the deaths of Bruce's parents had galvanized the rich and wealthy to take action and save the city from destruction. Bruce dismisses his guests by insulting them while pretending to be drunk. As he fights briefly with Ra's while the League lights the manor on fire, the last minute Bruce escapes the inferno with Alfred's help. Batman arrives at the narrows section of Gotham to aid the police in battling psychotic criminals, including Crane, now calling himself Scarecrow, whom the League set free. Rachel is briefly confronted by Crane, but quickly wards him off with a taser before being chased by more inmates. After saving her, Batman reveals his identity to her and leaves Gordon in control of the Batmobile to stop... What? Why would he leave Gordon in control of the Batmobile? What the hell?
Because he had more, bigger fish to fry.
Okay. Batman battles Ra's aboard the train and then escapes just as Gordon topples the elevated line using the Batmobile's missiles, leaving Ra's to crash into the ground and to die in the explosion. Okay, I get it now. It's just it's worded kind of weird for me, but yeah. What do you think of the action in this?
Compared to the old stuff, loved it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, just in general.
It was really, there was a lot of hand construction, and you could tell. I mean, obviously there wasn't a lot of CG work in it, which was cool.
Right.
but it was a lot of different type of destruction than anything we've seen in the Batman movies, really.
Right.
It was, I don't really know how to word it. It seemed more like how the original, like the Batman animated series kind of was, but not as, it was only what needed to be done. It wasn't over the top and stupid shit.
Yeah. Following the battle, Batman becomes a public hero in Gotham. Bruce gains control of Wayne Enterprises and installs Fox as the new CEO. However, he is unable to hold on to Rachel, who cannot reconcile her love for Bruce with his dual life as Batman. Newly promoted Lieutenant Gordon unveils a bat signal for Batman. Gordon mentions that they will have their hands full finding all of the psychopaths released from Arkham by Ra's, as well as the possibility that Batman's presence could actually result in an escalation of crime. Gordon also mentions a quote-unquote criminal who has a quote-unquote taste for theatrics that leaves Joker playing cards at all of his crime scenes. Batman promises to investigate it. As Batman prepares to leave, Gordon mentions that he never thanked Batman for all he's done. Batman replies that he'll never have to and flies off into the night. I like this one. I don't like the choice of the Scarecrow, but I like this one.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that too. I don't really care for that actor.
It's not really the actor. I don't like the character of the Scarecrow. It goes back to the same thing why I don't watch horror movies. I don't like to be scared and
You don't like fear.
Yeah, exactly. Fear is evil.
I would have preferred that they would have had like the Riddler or somebody.
Yeah, but they can always use him down the line. I don't know if they ever will. I know for a fact that Robin will never be in the Nolanverse, according to Nolan. Which I'm kind of glad that they're not doing it. And really, like I said before, this is, when I was reading the information earlier about what this actually comes from, this reboot, it kind of comes from Batman Year One, where he's just learning and getting, all his, stuff. He's basically getting his shit together. And, overall, I think it was a really good film. I really liked the new Batmobile. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like it, but at the same time, I kind of miss the older, like with the wings at the back end.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But I'm sure in round 3 they'll have one like that.
I don't know what they're going to do for the third film. At least we got the Batpod in Dark Knight. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So going into the cast, Christian Bale is Bruce Wayne / Batman. I don't know if it was this one or if it's Dark Knight, where his Batman voice is way too gravelly. It just doesn't sound right at all to me.
I think it might be the Dark Knight.
I think it is.
Because he's more darker in that movie than he was in this one.
Yeah. And then we have Director Nolan said of Bale, he has exactly the balance of darkness and light that we were looking for. Goyer stated that while some actors could play a great Bruce Wayne or a great Batman, Bale could portray both radically different personalities. We kind of hit on Michael Caine and Liam Neeson. I'm so glad they replaced Rachel in Dark Knight. Oh, God. If it isn't Dawson's Creek, Katie Holmes can't act.
Yeah, I wasn't... although she was more eye candy than the second Rachel Dawes in the next movie, yeah, I wasn't impressed with the entire character of Rachel Dawes in either movie as far as acting.
Yeah, no. Gary Oldman as Gordon. I actually like this very much.
Mm-hmm. He has that look of the BTAS
Yep. Gordon
and the styles of him, but at the same time, he has his own kind of take on it.
Yeah. Again, I didn't like the Scarecrow, so we're not even going to talk about that guy. we kind of already mentioned Lucius. Very, very, very good portrayal with Morgan Freeman doing that. Let's see here. The filming, design. The Batsuit. I like the belt. The belt looks kind of cool. I don't know. I didn't watch the movie before we recorded this, so I'm going to have to watch it after and maybe put a footnote in this episode. The filmmakers intended to create a very mobile batsuit that would allow the wearer to move easily to fight and crouch. Previous film incarnations of the batsuit had been stiff, especially restricted full head movement. Costume designer Lindy Hemming and her crew worked on the batsuit at FX Workshop, codenamed Cape Town, a secured compound located at Shepperton Studios in London. The batsuit's basic design was a neoprene undersuit, which was shaped by attaching molded cream latex sections. Okay,
So Batman wears...
The batsuit's a condom.
Highly mobile, but extra protective.
As we said, there are very few special effects in this. He preferred using traditional stunt work over computer-generated imagery. Scale models were used to represent the Darrows and Ra's al Ghul's temple. There's a score for the film done by Hans Zimmer and James Newton Howard. I don't really remember hearing the score. I don't know. I have the score for The Dark Knight, but I don't have the score for this one. As far as the reception, the film received highly positive reviews from critics. Based on 249 reviews collected by Rotten Tomatoes, Batman Begins currently garners an 84% fresh rating. The film's reception was more ambivalent, with the 40 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes cream of the crop subset reaching 62% positive consensus. Let's see if our good old buddy no, Ebert didn't say anything, I don't think. Nope. Oh wait, no, I don't see his name in here, so that's good. Anyway, it grossed, let's see, what did it gross? United States. The film's 5-day total gross was $72.9 million, beating Batman Forever. Batman Begins also broke the 5-day opening record in the 55 IMAX theaters, grossing $3.16 million. Polled moviegoers rated the film with A, and according to the studio's surveys, Batman Begins is considered the best of all the Batman films. The audience demographic was 57% male and 54% female, over the age of 25. Let's see, it is on DVD. Was released on October 18, 2005, both single disc and 2-disc deluxe editions. In addition to the film, the deluxe edition contained featurettes and other bonus materials. The edition contained a small paperback booklet, the first Batman story, Detective Comics number 27, as well as Batman, the Man Who Falls, and an excerpt from Batman The Long Halloween. Batman Begins achieved first place in national sales and rental charts in October 2005, becoming the top-selling DVD in the fourth quarter of 2005. The DVD grossed $11.36 million in rental revenue. The DVD held position at the top of the sales chart for a second week, but fell to second place behind Bewitched on video rental charts. Let's see. It was released on HD DVD and Blu-ray October 10th, 06 and July 8th, 08 to coincide with The Dark Knight, which hit theaters July 18th, 2008. Due to the successful box office performance of The Dark Knight, the Batman Begins DVD has seen an increase in both sales and rentals. The film grossed $125 million in DVD sales, bringing its total film gross to $496,853,783. Holy crap, that's a lot of money.
Yep.
Do we have any final thoughts on Batman Begins before we close the show out?
Definitely one of the must-sees out of the Batman sagas. Even if you watch the old ones just for the sake of watching them, this by no way is a comparison to them. It's a totally different monster in itself. Something that should be watched even if you're not a big Batman fan, because it will actually make you understand various aspects of it.
Yeah, I mean, now that we've been talking about it, I do remember a lot of this movie that I thought was cool, so I am going to have to go out and get it on DVD. And by the time this episode airs, I will have it on DVD, so I guess that's it for us.
Yeah, I'd have to say so.
Thank you for joining us here on Movie Week in Review. There are several ways to get in contact with us to leave feedback for the show. The first is you visit www.geekcastradio.com and find all the other podcasts there. The second is you can stop by PrediconEmpire.com/Nexus. Those are our new forums. And the third is you can leave the show and feedback in iTunes. Please do this. We now have a voicemail line. Call us and leave us your thoughts on each episode. Be sure to say what podcast you're leaving the message for and your name. The number is 502-526-5821. We have Twitters. The show name there is GCRN MWire. Mine is TFG1Mike. And what is your Twitter?
SCP-21.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of MWire. Wish you'll join us next time when we will be concluding the DC Spotlight Volume 1 with The Dark Knight. For now, I am TFG1Mike with
Steve Megatron Phillips.
Until next time.